All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's 30-minute practice. We're doing something a little bit different today. The next two classes that we're doing will both be 30 minutes in length, and we're kind of experimenting with different ways that we might approach stress relief. So for some people, that always looks like exertion and cardio and something really intense just to wear yourself out. I love that. That's sometimes something I'm interested in too, but I know sometimes we need these more grounding, calming, and relaxing practices to just bring us back to our center and kind of like dial down the adrenaline or the chaos if it's been a frazzled day. So just 30 minutes. You don't need anything special, no props or anything, just a little bit of room to move. There will be a seated section kind of like towards the beginning of our practice. So if sitting on the floor is uncomfortable, maybe keep a chair nearby, or you could like hop up onto your couch. It's all good. If you haven't been to practice before, I really want you to make this your own and do what feels best to you. So everything I offer is just a suggestion. And if a stretch that we're in feels really good and you just want to hang out there longer, that's great. I support you. So, all right, we are going to get started. 30 minutes are on the clock. If you're following along to the playlist, I'm going to press play right now. And let's meet lying down on our stomachs in crocodile pose. So you're going to lay down on your tummy. Dun, dun, dun. So you're going to stack your hands, resting your head on top of them, just giving yourself a little bit of room through the hips, and start to breathe deeply here. Good. Start to take some nice deep breaths. Breathing deeply into the low belly. Good. And you can keep your legs as wide as feels good. Anything that feels most supportive in your low back. And let's take 5 big breaths together here. Inhaling through the nose, filling up the low belly, feeling it press into the earth. And with a big exhale, letting that go, inviting the body to soften. Again, like that big, deep, full breath in. And a big breath out, maybe even make an audible sigh. Let's do 2 more together like that, breathing in, expanding in all directions. Breathing out, nice job. Take 1 more of those on your own, your biggest, your fullest yet. Awesome job. Keep your upper body just as it is. Bring your left leg up into half frog pose. So left thigh is perpendicular to your body and then ankle stacked under knee. We're just starting to bring a little bit of openness into the left hip. Take 2 big breaths here. You might flex your left toes back towards your shin, gently pushing the whole leg into the ground, just seeing how that feels. Breathe in here. And breathe out, nice. Gently press weight up into your palms, keeping the legs as they are. Reach your right arm underneath the bridge made by your left arm. So right arm is reaching through. And with a big breath in, open up into a twist. Arms are out like the letter T. Opening up here. Spend a couple moments just settling into this big twist. Think about lengthening your wingspan as long as you can, relaxing everything else. Good. Now bring just the left arm back to touch the right palm. And we'll do 3 of these. They're called open books. They feel really good for opening the chest. As you inhale, arc the left arm up. And as you exhale, settle into your twist. Good, return back to starting position. We'll do 2 more of those. We're expanding with the inhale and allowing the body to settle on the exhale. Good, last one. Inhaling to open. And exhaling. Awesome job. Return to your start position. Make your way all the way back down onto your tummy. We're going to do this all on the other side. So left leg goes long, right leg comes up into half frog this time. So we're aiming for ankle stacked under knee and then gently flexing the toes back. Spend a couple breaths here, just adjusting to this difference in the shape. See how it feels. And then when you're ready, we'll start to find the twist. Push weight into your hands. We're sending the left arm underneath the right. And then with a big breath in, opening into the twist. Nice job. If it feels good just to stay like this, holding open, you're welcome to do that. If you want to flow 3 times with us, return the right hand back towards the left. Inhale to arc up and open. And exhale to land and soften. Good, again, like that. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more, all on your own. Keep the breath really big and full here. Good, and when you're all done, return to your start position, make your way onto your belly, and we're just gonna do a really sexy transition. We're just gonna roll over onto our backs, just a little floop. All right, stamp your feet on the floor, knees up towards the sky, and you can bring your hands onto your tummy. We're gonna do some pelvic tilt, just start to bring some awareness to the lower core and to the pelvis. So as you breathe in, stretch your belly up towards the sky. You're creating a little bit of space between your low back and the ground. And then as you exhale, we're drawing the navel in, squishing the low back down to the ground, emptying out all air. Good, again, like that, inhaling to stretch, to lift the low back. And exhaling to squish it down, pulling the core in tight. Let's do 3 more of those, moving with your breath. These are really good if you have low back pain or sense that you're carrying a lot of tension in that area. And also just help us to bring some awareness to this part of the body, which we use to stabilize through the rest of practice. Even though we're not doing anything super athletic, super crazy, we're just stretching. It's so good to start with this base of awareness. Good. Last one, end with yourself still tucked. So you're squishing the low back down to the ground. Pelvis is tucked under. Bring your palms down onto the ground beside you. We're going to push up into bridge pose just with the pelvis tucked like this. So lifting the hips up, keep breathing. If it feels good, you can wiggle your shoulder blades a little closer together underneath you. Push your feet down into the earth. Feel the backs of your thighs ignite, not just the tops. And then notice if your rib cage is really splayed open here because you're reaching up. Can you draw the rib cage in? So you're shortening the distance between your belly button and your rib cage. Keep holding, breathe here. See if you can use more hamstring strength, more glute strength to hold you here. Could you relax your face anymore? Starting to burn just a little bit. You're doing great. There's the option here to reach the arms straight backwards, getting a little bit of shoulder mobility in, breathe in. And then everything down to the floor, exhaling with control. Let's move 3 times with the breath. Inhale, lift the hips, option to lift the arms. And exhale, lower slowly. 2 more times, breathe in. Breathe out, awesome control. 1 more time through, inhale. And And exhale, good. At the bottom, totally release. Find happy baby pose, bringing the knees into the chest, grabbing for whatever is accessible. Maybe that's the back of the legs. Keep your shoulder blades down on the floor and the whole length of your spine, and then just play with what feels best. Maybe you're straightening, bending one leg, then the other, rocking side to side. Maybe you start to make some shapes with the ankles, writing your name. I always write my best friend's name, and she has a pretty short name, so like maybe you write it twice. Good, nice job. Feels so good. I could just do happy baby all day long. All right, when you are ready, we're gonna gently roll over onto one side, press yourself up onto all fours, tabletop position. If you have sensitive wrists and it doesn't feel good to be down on your hands like this, use your fists instead. And we are going, what do I have us doing? Hip hinges, great, love that for us. You're gonna send your hips off towards the left and then back down. Good, and then up, hinging over to the right. It's like you're drawing a square with your hips. Well, you're not completing the square. You're drawing 3 sides. It's really more of a trapezoid. Good, nice job. And we're gonna start to take this into a more fluid cat and cow. So there are really no rules. This is about exploring what feels best in your body today. So maybe as you come forward, you start to drop the belly, lifting the chin, cow pose. As you exhale, finding cat, maybe that's where you find this hip hinge again. I'm setting a timer for 1 whole minute. I want you to just move with your breath, kind of exploring what feels best in your body. Nice job. We haven't stretched out through the face yet, so if it feels good to like open your mouth in a silent scream, it truly sounds crazy, but it feels really good. Good, you're about halfway there. Keep going, finding something new to explore, following the breath. Awesome job. If you're doing something one on each side, go ahead and even out your sides, and we'll meet back together in stillness in tabletop. All right, just because this is a chill class doesn't mean we're not still gonna do like a teeny tiny bit of work. So we're gonna do some bird dogs. Send your right arm forward and your left toe straight back. Left leg lifts up in line with the rest of your body. Now bring your right hand to your low back. If you've got a big dip here, like you're doing Kardashian butt with your butt, push your low back up into your hands. This is that tuck of the tailbone we were doing when we were laying on our backs. And then with your tailbone gently tucked, use the strength in the back of your leg to lift the leg up. Good. Imagine you could kick down a wall behind you. That's how strong this leg is. Reach the right arm forward. So good. Breathe in here. As you exhale, elbow to knee underneath you, crunch. Good. Inhale, lengthen with control. Exhale, elbow to knee. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome breath. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. And then release. Awesome job. We're going to do this on the other side. We're sending the right leg back this time. Left arm comes forward. I always like to lift the leg first, then check in with alignment. So I like to always bring my left hand to my low back, think, oh my gosh, I'm arching my back. Engage your core, tucking the tailbone slightly, then use glute strength, use hamstring strength to lift the thigh up. And keep that leg long and strong, reaching the left fingertips back. Lengthen yourself in forward and backward. 1 more inch here, breathe in. And as you exhale, elbow to knee underneath you with as much control as you can. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. We've got 2 more. Do your best. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Last one. Here we go. And exhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze, 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 and release. All right. Nice job. All right. We're going into a stretchy modified side plank here. I say stretchy because, you know, sometimes people think I mean do a real side plank. Carl on the other side of the computer. So bring your right hand onto the earth. We're going to use the right leg like a kickstand and then send the left leg long. And then like you're drawing a big bow and arrow, breathe and peel the left arm up high towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, we're just exploring a stretch here. Maybe you reach the left arm forward. Maybe you're opening up. Maybe something else feels good to you here. Take a couple breaths to find what your body's looking for. Nice job. We're going to come back down to tabletop and then find this on the other side. So the left hand is on the earth. Left leg is your kickstand. Right leg is long. Inhale, peel the right arm up. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. And as you exhale, explore a little. Awesome job. All right, come back down to earth. We're gonna have a seat. This is the part that I mentioned. We're gonna do a couple seated things. If sitting on the ground is uncomfortable, grab a chair, hop onto the couch, do whatever. You might sit with your legs crisscross applesauce, or if it feels good to sit back on your heels like this with the knees forward. Sometimes this feels nice on the feet after a long day. The point is, the way you're sitting does not matter for the stretches that we're gonna be doing next. So take your arms up overhead, breathe in. And as you exhale, send your arms out long to a T. We're gonna keep the arms actively pulling away. And before we even start to do some neck stretching, start to rotate your palms so they face the ceiling, rotating them down, maybe back behind you. Just start to notice any tension you might feel through the arms, through the shoulders, maybe creeping into the neck. And you can kind of keep the arms just loosely twirling like this, or you can find stillness, but gently bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Good, and rather than thinking about squishing the ear to the shoulder, think about lifting your left ear up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Good, drop your chin down towards your chest, stretching along the back of the neck, tops of the shoulders. And then lift your head back up to center. As you inhale, reach the arms all the way back up overhead again. And as you exhale out like the letter T, we'll try this again on the other side. If you've had enough of the twirling, you want something maybe a little more intense, do like a stop motion out towards the sides, bringing the fingertips back towards the forearm. Whoa. Maybe that's too much, so you find something else. Gently bring the left ear to the left shoulder. And we're breathing here, imagining that a string is lifting the right ear up towards the sky, noticing where you might be clenching or holding tension if the sensation is a little intense for you. Good, gently drop the chin to the chest. And then we'll lift the head up. Good, now bring your hands to interlace in front of you. We're gonna do a little bit of love for the wrists and the hands. So interlace your hands and we're just gonna start to draw a figure 8 with your hands. So we're stretching along the tops of the wrists. Keep breathing, relax your shoulders if they're getting a little tense. And okay, stop. Interlace your hands the other way, like the way that feels weird, where the fingers are like one off of what you would have chosen, and try to do this in the opposite direction that you were. This is something that my brain does not do well, but it's, it's fun to try. Good. All right, stop, shake out the hands, frantic jazz hands, and then send all your fingers out. We're gonna do some finger stretching. So It's important not to bring a lot of extra tension into the shoulders and the neck, so keep the arms loose, but the fingers are really active, and that is important. They're actively stretching long, actively stretching far apart. And we're gonna tap pinky to thumb on each hand. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, release. We're gonna go the next finger in now, ring finger to thumb, inhale, stretching all the other fingers. And exhale to release. Let's go middle finger this time, inhale, whoa. And exhale, beautiful, now pointer finger. Good, and we're just gonna work it back out. So move at your own pace. We're keeping the shoulders soft. We're keeping all the fingers active. No rush, nowhere else to be. Just stretching out your fingers, you know? Good, and when you're all done, give your hands a shake. We've got one more wrist and hand stretch. Hold your hand out like someone's gonna give you a little treat. Use your other hand to touch the tops of the fingertips and pull them back towards your forearm. So we're stretching the underside of the forearm here. Let's find 2 big, slow breaths. Nice job. And let's find that on the other side. And while we take 2 slow breaths on this side, I invite you to notice if this makes you feel a little antsy. I know for me, when I'm like running around like crazy and really need something like a slow and grounded practice, it's difficult to sit still and do what feels like nothing, but these are the exact kinds of moments that we can practice that stillness in. So give your hands a shake, say thank you wrists, and we are going to meet in downward facing dog when you're ready. So hands are shoulder width distance apart, fingers are really wide on the mat, step your legs back, start to pedal into your legs, just checking in with the backs of the legs, low back, calves. Gently step the right leg forward. We're moving into a wide leg forward fold. So legs are wide, you're now facing the longest edge of your mat. Toes are in, heels are out. Let your head weigh heavy down towards the ground. When you've got some choices here, you might plant one palm and reach the other one up high, finding some big twists. Maybe you interlace your hands at your low back and find a chest expansion. Maybe you're just keeping it nice and easy with your head. Just relax towards the earth. Good, look to your right foot. Rotate your toes so that they point out away from you. And we're gonna crawl the hands over towards the right foot. So you're just giving yourself a little more room in the hips. You can keep both knees as bent as feels good. This is just a nice little lateral stretch here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good, we'll return to center and find that on the other side. Right toes point in again. Left toes point out, just creating a little bit more space to find a stretch. Crawl your fingertips towards the left foot. 2 big breaths. Good, crawl back to center. This time, low lunge towards the right foot. So right toes point to the short edge of your mat. Your feet are on parallel tracks here. Lower the left knee down to the earth. Toes can stay tucked or untucked, it's up to you. And walk your hands up your right side. So we're in this kneeling lunge. If you have sensitive knees, you wanna grab a blanket to fold and put under your knee, or you wanna double or triple fold your mat underneath. That can sometimes help. Good, and before we move into a little bit of a sequence here, we're gonna set up strong and give ourselves some stability. So hips are stacked over your back leg or so. We just don't wanna be like super lunged forward just yet. Actively push both of your feet down into the ground and imagine you could scrunch up your mat beneath you. That's how strong the legs are here. Now see if you might engage your left glute just a little bit more. Do you feel that stretch across the front of the left hip? Great. Bring your right hand onto your thigh as you inhale, left arm up high. As you exhale, bend towards your right. So just a little bit of an arc up and over towards the bent knee. Again, we're bringing more of a stretch towards this left leg here. Relax your shoulder. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, return to center. Both arms reach high. Exhale, reach the right arm forward, the left arm back. We're opening into a little twist here. Legs are still just as active. We've got this active stretch going in the left hip. Breathe here, relax through the face, through the shoulders. Good. Inhale, back to center, face forward. And as you exhale, half split, straighten the left leg any amount, sink the hips backwards. We're not going for like butt down towards the legs. This is about finding a stretch that feels good along the back of the left leg and the low back. You might point and flex your toes. Windshield wiper the right toes from side to side. And again, you could stay like this, keep it nice, easy, and static. But if you want a little bit of a flow, we're gonna move between a deeper lunge and this half split shape. So if you want to move into that little sequence with us, as you inhale, lunge back into the right knee, reach the fingertips up and back, inhale. And as you exhale, half splits, dragging the fingertips along the floor, back behind you. 2 more, inhale, really slow, open up, lift your heart to the sky. As you exhale, half splits, awesome control. Let's do 1 more like that. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Return to your low lunge where both palms are planted on the earth. Lift the back leg up, and we're just going to crawl our arms back to center and find this on the other side. So low lunge towards the left foot. This time, left toes lead off. Lower the right knee to the earth. Walk your hands up your left thigh. Toes tucked, untucked. Try them both. See what you like the best. And it is important to spend some time really solidifying this shape in our body before we add on to get the most benefit and so that we're safe through this hip. This is not usually a sequence I would do after only 22 minutes of movement. This is a lot for the hips. So we are purposefully keeping this kind of restricted alignment rather than like, like an Instagram lunge. We're not doing that. Okay. So you're pushing both of your feet down. You're hugging your right glute in to actively elongate the stretch along the right hip. Left hand on your thigh. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, bend to your left. It's okay if it's not a big bend. Might be more of a lift up and a gentle little rainbow to the left. Relax your face, inhale. And exhale, good. Inhale to center, lift both arms up high. Exhale, reach the right arm back, left arm forward, big twist. Arms are reaching long. Inhale here. And exhale, good. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, half split, sink the hips back, pop the left toes up. Couple breaths here just to explore, noticing how it feels on this side. And then just like on the other side, invitation to find a little flow together or just stay here. If you want to move on, inhale, lunge into the left leg, lift the arms, lift the heart, breathe in. Exhale, half split. Again, breathing in. Breathing out. 1 more, moving with your breath. Inhale, expand. Exhale, half split. Good. Return to your low lunge. And this time we're just gonna step the left foot back. We're in the tabletop and then have a seat on your butt. We have time for 2 more things. All right, next are just some windshield wipers. So send your feet in front of you, bring your hands behind you for support. Instead of relaxing down into your shoulders like this, keep your heart lifted, keep your shoulders engaged, your upper back working. Take a nice breath in, lift the heart up. As you exhale, drop your knees off to one side. Breathe here. Ooh, slow hips. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale off to the other side. We're bringing internal rotation to our hips here. Start to move with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And I don't know what this feels like to you, but to me, this is a little uncomfortable. This is not a movement of the hips I naturally spend a lot of time working on. So giving the body a chance to explore its full range of motion can be intense, but it can feel really nice. Take 2 more rounds of breath here, just evening out the sides. And beautiful job. All right, return to center. Our last stretch here is a 1-leg fold plus stargazer, which is just a fave of mine. So send the right leg out long, left leg tucks in. Inhale, lift both arms up high. Exhale, pivot to face your long leg and let yourself fold over. This might feel like more of a side bend if you're opening the chest to the sky, or might do a little more for your low back if you keep the chest squared to the leg. Both of those are great options. Breathe. Start to bring yourself back up to center. Bring your left hand onto the earth behind you. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky. Lift your fingertips. Use your glute strength to support yourself here for 1 more big breath. And a breath out, come back down, good. Let's switch out the legs. Left leg out long, inhale, reach high. Exhale, pivot and fold. 3 breaths here. You start to bring yourself back up. Right hand comes onto the ground behind you. Inhale, stargazer. Opening the whole front line of the body. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, come back down. Good, find a comfortable seat. We'll end with 3 big breaths together, whatever feels best to you. Spine is tall and long, chest is proud. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center, grounding yourself here. 2 more times, big inhale. Big exhale. Last one, breathe in, biggest breath of all Wednesday. And your biggest breath out, let something go. Lift your thumbs up to third eye center. May all beings everywhere be happy, healthy, safe, and free. We bow in gratitude to this incredible practice and each other. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that was a little different from usual. Next week's practice will also be 30 minutes long, but instead of like really chill, gentle grounding, we're going to see what it's like to try for a little bit more effort. So things are going to be a little more fiery, a little more sweaty. So I hope you tune in. If not, thank you again for being here, and I will see you again soon.